Genius Kids. Cultivating love for learning.
Lesson 6. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar was one of the greatest leaders of India. He was popularly known as the father of Indian Constitution. He was one of the most dynamic characters in India's struggle for freedom. He has devoted a lot in the struggle for freedom of India. He proved to be a model of hard work, dedication, commitment, love and humanity. He was jurist, social worker, writer and educationist. Struggle for freedom was not only against the British rule, but the people needed to be free from the rude customs and traditions which led to exploitation. Most of all, they needed to be liberated from the practices like untouchability. Life sketch of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Dr. Ambedkar was born on 14th April 1891 to Bhimabai and Ramji. He was the 14th and last child of his parents. He was born in Mho, which was a British-founded town and military cantonment in Madhya Pradesh. His parents named him Bhim Rao. His family actually belonged to Ambedkar town, located in Maharashtra. Dr. Ambedkar's hardships. Dr. Ambedkar had faced lots of hardships to complete his education. However, his strong will and dedication helped him to remove all the obstacles and hurdles complete his studies. He had to go through various social and financial obstacles. Word meaning. Custom, a traditional and widely accepted way of behaving or doing something specific to a particular society. Liberated, free from traditional ideas. Obstacles, something that blocks from going forward. He faced a lot of humiliation at his school as social discrimination was highly prevalent in India at that time. Since it was his and his father's wish, he did not give up his desire to learn and work hard. His father was a great source of inspiration for him. He was so much influenced by his father. Dr. Ambedkar studied in the prestigious Columbia University in New York in 1913. The experience of studying in USA was very refreshing for him as he was away from the social discrimination and hardships resulting due to it. However, he did not get carried away. He used to study for 18 hours a day. Dr. Ambedkar was an educationist. He completed his MA in 2 years and his main subjects were economics and sociology. The very next year of completion of his MA, he completed his PhD thesis too. Fight for the removal of untouchability. After completing his studies, he returned to India and got a job in Baroda civil service. Once again, he had to face this worst Hindu system of humiliating untouchables. He decided to take strong measures against the treatment meted out to untouchables. He started a weekly publication called Muknayak, which was one such tool which he used for the struggle against untouchability. He used this tool for criticizing traditional Hindu political leaders and practices of caste discrimination. He delivered various speeches to encourage the untouchables to fight against social discrimination. He was the person who raised the loudest voice against untouchability. He also took part in meetings known as Bahishkrit Hitakrani Sabha for encouraging the welfare, education and social development of the lower class. He also undertook massive movements to give rights to untouchables to share common source of drinking water with others and enter the temples, as low-class people were not allowed to enter or worship in temples. Word meaning. Humiliation, injury of one's dignity and self-respect. Untouchables, members of the lowest caste in Hindu society. Sculptor of Indian Constitution. Dr. Ambedkar prepared the Constitution of India, which is the world's first largest democratic country. Constitution of India comprises of the rules, regulations and law of the country. He prepared it with the help of his extensive knowledge of economics, law, politics, Indian society, and detailed study of constitutions of other countries. Through his superior work, he wanted to appeal to Indians for such a nation where caste should not be the barrier to live a happier social life. All the Indians owe a lot for receiving such a precious gift from Dr. Ambedkar in the form of Constitution. Today, we can see a picture of India as a superpower country. The whole credit for good and smooth governance in our country today goes to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, as he gave us a very strong and powerful constitution. Dr. Ambedkar's conversion to Buddhism. Dr. Ambedkar attended a conference of Buddhists which influenced Dr. Ambedkar. After that, Dr. Ambedkar returned from a Buddhist conference in Sri Lanka in 1950. He addressed people in Bombay. He appealed to all his people to follow Buddhism to put an end to all their sufferings. He also decided to spend rest of his life in learning more about Buddhism. Therefore, on 14th October 1956, he organized a ceremony where lakhs of people came and accepted Buddhism as their religion along with him. One of the features of Dr. Ambedkar's multidimensional character was that he had great love for books. Dr. Ambedkar had a keen interest in books. His interest in reading was so deep that he could concentrate on reading even in crowded places. He could read a book even while having a normal discussion with his friends, family, or colleagues. He was very much focused towards reading of books. He succeeded in putting an end to the sufferings of millions. He was a true son of Mother India. Bharat Ratna, the nation's highest civilian award, was conferred posthumously on him in 1990. He is a pure example and inspiration of hard work, dedication, commitment, love and humanity. Word meaning: democratic, controlling of a group by the majority of its members. Extensive, affecting a large area. Barrier, obstacle, hindrance. O, repay.
Like, share and subscribe.